Welcome back to Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with your host, Varun Varma, and my name is Vikas, Sondhi, and family and friends, and to all of our listeners, welcome to Season 2.
What?
We got through 10 episodes last season.
Yeah.
Took a little break, and we're going to get into all the reasons for all the break here shortly, and so we decided that if we're going to start up again, we're going to start up with Season 2.
Yeah.
We're going to make it another fun 10 episodes.
Yes.
And we're going to keep continuing on. And there's a very intentional reason why we're calling it Season 2. But I'm not going to take that thunder away. If anyone that was listening and keeping up with all the episodes last season, you'll know what might be on the way or what has already happened. So, Varun, why are we calling this Season 2 now, man?
Yeah, we are calling it Season 2 because we are on kid number 2, baby.
Yes. Kid number 2.
Kid number 2,
Everybody
under
make
2,
some
all
noise.
things 2, terrible 2s coming up soon, all of that good stuff. And we are, we're going through it right now.
We had talked about, well, Varun had asked me, he said, hey, do we need a rebrand now?
Yeah.
Because now it's like girl dad, boy dad, all of that. Now we're all inclusive, right?
Yeah.
And, we can even get into the trans side of things. We love everyone. But I mentioned, and we would love to hear some feedback on this.
For sure.
I said, you know what? It's authentic. We started this off as a girl dad's journey, and we knew at some point this may expand. Yeah. But keeping it real to what it started off at, and then being able to incorporate how we bring the boy dad into the brand, will be something that we'll see what happens, right? First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our family had the privilege and honor to come and see Zyanna, and now baby
Sahil.
number 2.
Baby number 2, his name is Sahil, which, fun story, it took us forever to decide on that name. As you know, in the group chat, we went back and forth, and we literally, it was day 3 of the hospital. So for those of you that don't have a kid or do have a kid, you already have experience with this where, they come in, they ask the name, birth certificate, all that good stuff. We didn't have a name. So at that time, they were just calling it Baby Vala. Baby Vala for Bavisha's last name, actually, which I was cool with, whatever. Because Bavisha made a comment about it, too. She was like, you cool with that? And I was like, I don't care. And in this world, man, ours is ours. It doesn't matter anymore. And then we decided, we went back and forth. We even downloaded the Spinner app and put in a few names. Didn't really like what it came to there. Then we decided on Sahil. Sahil was on the list, but not atop of the list. And then I think day 2, Bavisha was reviewing our list again. She's like, oh, what about Sahil? And we're like, oh, dang, Sahil is just pretty. It's nice. It's calming. We were looking at another Z name.
Yep, we were.
To go that with. And Zane was the other option.
Yeah.
Which we liked. But also looking at Sahil, I was like, is he a Zane? He just was very calm. Like, the running joke is now he's just going to be like a poet and a scholar.
And what does Sahil mean?
Sahil means leader and guide.
Leader and guide.
Yeah, so we loved the meaning, the strength behind that. That really kind of helped draw us to that name a lot as well. And it was just a little bit more, Zyanna's a little edgy, a little modern. And we liked just kind of the comfort and tradition aspect of the name.
Nice little ballad.
It's not like like an old school name.
No.
But it has some ties to it, is what we feel. So we loved it. And then fun fact is I went to the car. This is day 3. We've gotten discharged. I went to the car, load up and all that stuff. Back, and Bavisha was like, are you sure about Sahil? And she's in the wheelchair to get out of the car. And I called the birth certificate lady back. And she actually showed back up. And I was like, oh, damn, she's back. So we almost changed it to Zane. But we went with Sahil. And we're happy with it. We're ecstatic. He's cool. He's chill.
He's awesome.
He's just hanging out. And I feel bad for the dude because it's a lot of attention to Zyanna, right? Because Zyanna feels the attention or lack thereof, if that is there, right? So and that was one of the big things we were concerned about with having the second one is just how is Zyanna going to feel? How are they going to react? Because everything that we were reading and talking to other parents of 2, what they experienced, what they felt, because with a toddler this age, they don't understand another person because it's just been 2 parents, a child, and it's just been all them. And now you shift the focus, and it's like, who is this other person and what are they doing? Like, why is my mom holding this person? Like, I'm gonna throw some hands, you know. So, but Zyanna's been great. I mean, we've been very blessed with Zyanna and how amazing she is. She's been super loving, just super in love with Sahil. Wants to hug and calls him by all the time, and just always asking about him too when she wakes up, and wants to see him, wants to play with him. Sometimes a little too aggressively because she doesn't understand that he's just a little dude right now. But but that's just what we were blessed with just a few weeks back, and it's been, man, I'm tired.
I know you
and
said
if I'm
that.
tired,
As soon as he walked in, he
tired,
said, "Man, I'm tired." I said,
Yeah,
no shit, you're gonna be tired, man." We started off season 1 talking about how to navigate being a girl dad, understanding those emotions and stuff. And so now we're going to have to start to incorporate some guests and some content around balancing the second child now being born and how to do that. So some tips, tricks,
and a lot of my friends that are boy dads are now happy because they now think they can get on the show because, like, well, you're a boy dad, so because I got a lot of heat from my homies. They were like, "Okay, come on the hook."
And Varun does have a lot of friends and colleagues that have a lot of boys. The girl dad was a little shift and stuff. I'm happy too because now I can.
Exactly.
Tell you a lot
can talk about that, and it's man, I am. There are times that, like, we got the best of both worlds. We got 1 and 1.
Yeah, you got it. Great.
And that's, like, awesome. Because I probably thought when we first found out we were having a girl, I probably did feel just a little like, man, did I want a boy? Oh, I wanted a boy. And then now that we have both, it's just like I literally will find myself sometimes just like getting ready or being myself and be like, yes. Like, I don't know. And it's something stupid to be excited about, but it's like, we got really blessed. We got really lucky and fortunate, and the journey
for those that don't recall, but Varun has an older brother, so they grew up with a lot of boys around. Even our extended family has a lot of boys, and so to see that now, not only do you all get to experience the daughter, son, but now your parents, the grandparents get to see some of that stuff. Obviously, Bavisha's parents have had boys and girls, but for you all, like your parents, it's like, oh my God, now there's a little girl. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
sure, it might be annoying at times, but hey, it's all good. It's all good.
We're just excited about it. And I've been, researching, shortest NFL quarterbacks and can they be good? Because let's be honest, he's gonna be vertically challenged like I was. But we just want to see if he can be the next Joe Burrow, though. There's some hope.
Well, let's let Joe Burrow be Joe Burrow first, and then we'll go from there. But congratulations.
Thank you.
So there's gonna be a lot. Now there's gonna be a lot of content just on parenting and boy dads, girl dads, the differences, the similarities, the challenges, the trials and tribulations and stuff.
For sure.
I want to and so congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all. Second of all, obviously, for those who have been following us, there's been a big break. We've been almost on like a 5-6 month break almost?
Almost,
yeah. And so,
July.
When we went on the journey to start this, the one thing I was mentioning to Varun was if we start this and we turn the lights on, we got to be consistent. But we also understand that life can throw all kinds of challenges. So, Varun, whatever you want to share, like, what were some of the real reasons for why we had to pause and whatever you want to share and stuff? But this is all about transparency, openness, trying to help each other out. I'm sure a lot of people here have started something and they may have fallen off or delays and stuff like that. And so we're trying our best as well. But I just wanted you to shine some light, if you'd like to. What were some of those reasons for pausing?
Yeah, for sure. And first off, a big thank you to a lot of people reached out and said, hey, when's the next episode coming back? And, everything okay and all that good stuff. And it was nice to get that support. Didn't feel that I was deserving of that support, but it was nice to have people like, oh, dang, people are actually listening from friends and colleagues and whatnot too. So that was nice to have. But yeah, overall, there was a lot of curveballs, a lot of, personal decisions and choices that I made, some that weren't the right decisions for myself and Bavisha and Zyanna that just affected our relationship, affected our family, and that didn't really make it make sense to go on a podcast and act like things are just normal. Things are whatever, And I really felt that I couldn't be a true podcaster who could really share the story, be vulnerable, be open of what we're trying to do here in terms of just sharing our journey. So just didn't feel right in coming on here and just talking about how, yeah, things are great, this and that, and didn't feel that it was the right time to try to be vulnerable. So I didn't want to fake it on the podcast in that retrospect. And yeah, there was just some kind of restarting I needed to do, refinding myself, the focus of Bavisha and I, because when you become a parent, it's easy to become only a parent. You forget easily that there is another human who is your spouse involved with you as well, because then work can encompass you as well, and the relationship can easily take the back burner. And I think that what happened, and it just, so I just needed to take a break, and I think we're ready to go back at it again. Had some conversation with Bavisha about, what we want to do with this podcast again. And she said, if it feels right, do it. I mean, we had a lot of great conversations. We had a lot of great guests on here, a lot of good perspective that changed my mindset and probably some of the viewers, just of hearing different stories, different challenges. And yeah, I feel better. I feel better and ready to go and kind of get this show back on the road, but just needed that time away to refocus, get everything back in line, and go.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope that you're opening it up to that, because we would all be lying if we all didn't say that.
Yeah.
We've all gone through that.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that, to share with the audience, when we set out to do this, we wanted it to be purely authentic. And so Varun, didn't feel as though he could be authentic at that time. And so that's kudos to you. That's that vulnerability. That's that transparency. And man, it all makes sense. Like, how can you come on and talk about this stuff when you might be fighting some battles, internally with your spouse and stuff like that? And some people might be going through that right now. That transition from, being a couple, being a married couple, and then a third or fourth person comes into the mix, it gets hard. Especially living in America, you've got to make money. You've got to have a living. You've got to balance everything out. You also want to have fun, right? And so sometimes things get a little distracted. We get distracted. And so it's good that you were able to get grounded, get leveled, and be able to move forward. I'm interested to hear, maybe some audience, like, what were some of the things, whatever you could share, that you were able to do to overcome some of those battles, to be able to get your mind right to come back here?
Yeah, no, I restarted with therapy. Found a really good new therapist. I got ADHD testing done. I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm kind of working through that as well. Like, my primary physician did prescribe to this. Yeah.
Prescribed to that.
Yeah. With Adderall, but I haven't jumped into it full-fledged because I did get prescribed it a few weeks before we got Sahil. So I didn't know how that would change my mood and mentality and personality, and then how it would react with, needing to find sleep in the random times, or needing to be up and focus on work, focus on baby, focus on 2 babies, and then also Bavisha. And did a lot of reading of different things about relationship, different things about habits and building new habits, just because it was a lot of just choices. My personality, as a lot of people will always know, is I've always been people-pleasing. Yeah. And I think that engulfed me in making the wrong decisions, and not prioritizing who and what was most important to me and my successes. And, I think, like a lot of people do, is they take advantage of what's easy. And that was Bavisha. I took advantage of her working from home and her willing to do everything and all that stuff, while I would just go out, work, have a happy hour, have fun and all this stuff, and then expect to just go through the motions. So just a lot of that, a lot of just refinding myself in different ways to refocus on what's important, what matters, because none of the other fucking bullshit does.
Amen.
Nobody else pays your bills. Nobody else will be there for you when you're down. The people that matter to you are the people that fucking matter. And you've got to remember that and prioritize them. And realizing that all could be gone really, really fucking hurt.
Man.
So, yeah.
That's courage, dude. That's courage to be able to, it's courage to be able to talk about that, first of all.
Yeah.
because not a lot of people can. All right, let's be very honest. 99% of people would never be able to come do this and talk the way you are. So first of all, you're already ahead of the curve, right? Second, I think you taking on, having the awareness, first of all, and building up those habits to get there is awesome. And I'm, as an older brother, man, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I've always been proud of you, but I think to see you evolve into who you are now is fucking special, dude. Like that is really awesome. And I can't tell you how excited I am inside of me to hear you say some of that stuff, because we've gone through that too.
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, everyone's going to go through that moment.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to go through it themselves. You can read what you want. You can have the habits, but until that hits you, you're not going to wake up and realize what it is. And then you're going to have that awareness of like, oh my God, what have I been doing? Look at my routine. Look at what I've been prioritizing, this and that. And so, man, I think this is why we started this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally why we started this. So man, I'm so excited for what the future holds for you, for your family, for how we all have been able to overcome even our own relationships and get to a brighter place. And man, we're all cheering for you now.
Thank you.
So I think that's awesome. All right, wow, that was a little bit of a deep moment. So so I guess so before we get into some of the listing side of things or whatnot, like tell our audience what all can we expect in season 2 and season 3, and we promise you all, hold us accountable. We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't know what tomorrow may bring to us, but we are gonna try our hardest. Right?
Yeah. For sure.
But tell us a little bit more about what your vision is now for season 2 and beyond.
Yeah, a couple more boy dads, even the playing field there. But yeah, definitely some more guests. We've been fortunate enough to be able to connect with other people in the girl dad industry. Yeah. There's an author that we talked about. There's some other people we've been connected to in the sense that can shine light on a lot of different things that we touch on as well, and probably a few leaders in the real estate industry as well. So definitely some more guests. Continuous podcast of just you and I as well. So, and then just more openness, we're going to get deeper. We're going to get deeper into everything that we want to talk about, and that hits with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because early on, we did get a lot of feedback and comments and people reaching out, and we want to continue that. So it will be, like I said, more guests, consistent podcasts. It's good that we had a call to kind of get through the scheduling of because especially now with scheduling, it's all going to be fluctuating.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be hard.
So, having set timepieces, having set schedules, having everything stay consistent, and then we can just churn these out to allow for the guests both in person and on Zoom. And
we will be doing video calls.
And then more consistency with us sitting down and just hanging out.
Yeah.
So,
So, man, that's awesome. So I guess let's transition a little bit. That was a lot of the lullabies part, right? And a lot of mental health and all that. We'll be talking a lot more on that in the next episodes and stuff. But so it's wintertime right now. Let's transition a little bit to the listing side.
Yeah.
A lot of movement, a lot of conversations around real estate, interest rates, market, saturation, problems, all of that. Give us some update from, fall to winter, summer. Give us.
Absolutely. So 2024 was kind of a little bit of back to basics, a little bit of overflow from 2023 of, we noticed seasonality changes. Pricing was still staying high along with the rates. So with 2023, people were kind of waiting. 2024, people were like, okay, this is the new normal. Life still happens, right?
Okay.
Marriage, kids, divorce, job, relocation, those things in life still happen that require you to move and transition in life, whether that's from leasing to owning to leasing, baby boomers moving to retirement homes and everything in between. So that became now a realization of this is the new normalcy. Prices are staying a little bit higher and rates are also staying a little bit high. And then with the election year too, people were a little bit kind of waiting for the unknown. There wasn't one candidate that was going to be more favorable to the real estate world than the other. Right. So that wasn't it. It's just with election year, the history and precedent is that things kind of slow down. Okay. They want to wait and see. They're not really moving things around in terms of money in the market. transitioning in life unless you kind of absolutely have to on things I touch.
Right.
So that was 2024. You know, we got a little bit more inventory, which was great.
Oh, that's good.
Because like I said, 2023 people were waiting, and then 2024 people were kind of like, okay, we've got to move now. We've got to buy. We've got to sell. It is what it is. Because obviously the inventory issue that we have locally is because of those sub 4 and sub 3 rates that everybody got during the pandemic ages, and nobody wants to go out and then now go into a 6-7% interest rate, plus already in a market that's just lacking of inventory. So those things kind of go hand in hand. It's becoming a little bit favorable to the buyer's side of things as well.
Oh, okay.
It's not necessarily a buyer's market where it's okay, there's a whole bunch of inventory and people have the time to decide on a house, but they're not as urgent in the sense of, okay, great, I see this house. It's not got everything that I love, but it's good to kind of see in person and kind of make a decision on, of course, some of those hot areas, Hyde Park, Oakley, Madisonville, Westchester, Liberty, Northern Kentucky areas, whatnot. Those kind of still, you know, fly off the shelf.
Okay.
But the ones that aren't updated or aren't kept up well enough, those kind of sit now. Buyers are wanting more turnkey properties in that sense as well, versus a few years past.
So how are prices? Is it still like seller's market? Like, here's the price, take it or leave it, and it's inflated? Or what is it?
No, great question. It's a little bit of a seller's market where you can price it aggressive, but you've got to be strategic about that. You've got to understand the market. You've got to align yourself with the right agent that understands the market and the data. And then you've also got to overcome your own ego, because a lot of mentality from sellers is that they still think it's 2020, 2021.
Got it.
Where they think, oh, yeah, okay, I can sell this. But there's not as many buyers right now because of the interest rates. And people are a little bit more hesitant, so they're not ready to just say, hey, okay, great, I'll pay you whatever your house is worth. But now they're being more diligent, the buyers are, in terms of taking the time to understand comps, understand the quality of the house, understand what items need to be repaired or need to be addressed, what those costs entail. So it's a seller's market in the sense of inventory is a little bit favorable for them. There's not much competition out there, but it's not a seller's market that you can throw whatever price tag on the house and expect it to sell. So we're back to strategizing more on the seller side of full marketing pieces, understanding that the house is not going to go in the first 24 hours, having a full plan of, okay, here's how we're going to market. Here's what open houses we're going to do. Here's who we're going to network this property to, and understanding that, okay, house isn't going to fly off the shelf. What's our strategy? Are we pricing it here? Are we aggressively doing price reductions, or are we pricing it low so that we can engage in multiple offers or whatnot? So there's a little more thought process and strategy behind it now. So aligning yourself with the right agent has always been key, but is more crucial now in this kind of fluctuating market per se. And then with the changes that happened in August related to the buyer representation agreement, that changed a little bit of things, but we've been noticing that, 9 out of 10 sellers are offering a compensation. You're now writing your compensation into the contract, so it's more transparent, which is what they wanted. And it's just a little bit of a different conversation, and it's really how you as an agent and a business person can explain and show your true value to the agent. And in some cases, it's helpful because we did, as agents, waste a lot of our time with buyers. Yeah. And now we can avoid wasting our time. It's like, cool, you don't want to pay, you don't want to, sign this representation agreement? Great. Doesn't seem like you were going to be a good fit anyway. Yeah. Totally normal to ask questions and understand it because, yes, the big kind of hurdle that people have to overcome is, what if the seller does not offer compensation, and then myself, now the buyer, now have to pay that compensation? Some buyers in my conversations are like, yep, no problem. I understand you need to be compensated. Yeah. So, yep, we can work that in. We communicate to all of our clients that, hey, we are going to do everything we can to still get the seller to pay this compensation, which, like I said, 9 out of 10 times it's happened. I've been able to do that. We've gotten 3% compensation. I know some people in our industry have not, but they've worked through it. Also becomes a business decision of, okay, hey, what do you want to do? there are some other shitty parts of it as well. Like, it's like, yeah, you could go into an agreement with this person, and then they could say, well, I want this house. They're only offering 2%. Hey, agent, will you reduce your agreed upon commission? And then it becomes a business decision. So that's the unfortunate, frustrating part of it too. I've just heard that through stories from colleagues and just kind of staying in touch with everyone in the industry to see what they're dealing with, how they're overcoming certain obstacles. I've been fortunate enough that any listing that my buyers have offered on or gotten under contract and closed on, they offered 3%. And we've made it work, but that's been a little bit of a change. Overall, it's a fucking hack because the guy that started the lawsuit came out with a company that it makes real estate transactional in terms of write a contract $500, show a house $200, whatnot. So just goes to show how corrupt this fucking world is, unfortunately. So it is what it is.
Preaching to the choir, man.
So that's frustrating. That's frustrating because the whole thing of this was to show more transparency. And to be honest, anytime I had a conversation with the prospective client, wasn't even aware of this. They're like, oh, okay, I thought it was standard 3%. I didn't know. And most sellers I had conversation with, like, oh, yeah, I knew it was negotiable. Like, yeah, that's fine. I'm good. Standard is 6%. Yeah. So it's just, shitty world, shitty Department of Justice, shitty National Association of Realtors. It's just bullshit that changes our market and whatnot. And there were like podcasts and all that stuff out there that were like, oh yeah, agents in America make so much money compared to other people in the world. Like, no. Like, we don't get fucking health insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't get paid till closing. We don't get other benefits. Like, we in this country have to pay our own health insurance, have to pay for everything out of pocket, whereas other healthcare systems are way fucking better.
Yep.
So that's what people don't understand and realize. And in the whole real estate world, the best is like people that comment, and I work with investors as well. So investors don't understand it as much as residential consumers do either. But again, it's how you consult and how you prepare to have that conversation with your clients. And then again, it's a business decision for you as a real estate agent of, all right, is this the client I want to take on? Or, you know what, hey, I appreciate it. I don't think we're going to be a good fit because, we're busy, whether we're busy in real estate and work or family or whatnot, because especially of prioritizing, I've got 2 kids now. I've got a wife. That means everything to me than running around for some schmuck,
Preach. We said transparency this season. Right?
It just doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't. You're absolutely right.
It's because there's, you don't get it as much, but when I tell people I'm an agent, like, oh, wow, you must have been so rich in COVID. Like, those comments. Like, yeah, it was good, but we were also negotiating 11, 12 o'clock because there were 13 offers and my buyers were emotional and going through every stage and literally had to make a decision about their life, about the next transition that was this the right decision for them, their spouses, their kids, their family, their future in 30 fucking minutes, and give the seller just everything. Yeah, no, It wasn't just, oh yeah, we were just, just rolling in the dough. But yeah, there's still that concept out there and that mindset, but that is what it is, because there's not many industries that you can literally see what this person makes. And there's people that look at it as just a number or look at it as, oh, what did this number mean? Right. And the way I've always set up my experiences for my clients is that they feel the value. They don't just feel that, oh, okay, this guy just opened the door for me, and then I did the rest. Because I've actually met with some potential clients I've interviewed to be the agent for them, and they've shared that unfortunate experience. It's like, yeah, we bought this house because we worked with a friend, and all we felt like they just opened the doors. We had to figure things out. We had to do this and all that stuff. So I've had a few prospective clients that have shared that experience, and that's unfortunate. That's frustrating for sure to hear that as someone in the industry. And that's also why I try to do my best to, even if it's family or friends, I try to make things as business professional as possible. Yeah. We go through all the right stages, not to protect you and myself, because I don't ever want it to be as like, I only used Varun just because he was a friend of mine. Right. Or he's my brother's friend.
Yeah, exactly. No,
You know,
right.
like I appreciate that. That's great. But I want the experience and the journey to be when they're at the closing table and when they see what I make, they understand that every dollar that came out of those, if they're the seller proceeds, or now if they're the buyer and they had to contribute to that, that it was worth it for them, that they felt the value and they would have paid 10 times more than that, right? That's the business of any business.
Any
right?
business, yeah. The
You want to
service part
feel
of
the
it is-
value
yeah.
versus the dollar amount, right?
Right.
You want to go to a mechanic and be like, sure, I would have paid you $1,000 versus $500. You want to go to your doctor and say, yeah, I would have paid you whatever versus what I did pay.
Yeah,
you want to go
value.
to any service and have that experience, and that's the value I try to bring to every experience, no matter the price point, no matter the journey that they're on. So that transition with the new law and all that stuff didn't really scare me in that aspect because it was something I was already doing.
Exactly.
I was
We're
already doing consultations. I was
Yep.
already in what, in my mind, felt like I was providing value versus the compensation factor of it. So there was that, and then 2025. The way I'm looking at it is, I'm calling it 2020 Thrive. Yeah,
There you go.
cheesy as it may sound, but 2020 Thrive
2020 Thrive.
is the mentality. Yeah. So
I think-
it's because we're a couple years past COVID. Everyone's had the chance to regroup, refocus, figure out things. For us, it's a whole new journey. 2 kids. Got to see how we're going to adapt as a family, as a business owner, as a relationship, as a husband and wife. So yeah, my key word on everything, both on the listing and lullaby side, is thriving. So 2020 Thrive is my focus, my goal, and my mindset that we're going to just absolutely thrive.
Go and thrive and go crush it, man.
Yep.
And I hope every one of you have some real intentional goals for 2020 Thrive.
Yeah.
We're just going to call it that from now on.
Yeah.
And achieve those goals. And before you achieve them, work hard towards them. Right. And it's a reset now. We're refreshed almost, and let's all lift each other up because that's what we got to do. You've clearly said it. Some of the systems need some adjusting and some repositioning. There's a lot of conversations happening in this country. And so I think real estate is a big part of it and everything that goes into it.
Right.
And so appreciate you giving us a lot of insight on it. And, I think we all hold each other accountable. Every episode, what did we do to work towards those goals? What are we continuously improving upon?
Yeah, no, I like that. The accountability aspect is huge. And I think that's a key piece that I've been missing in life as well. The good thing about being a business owner is you're the decision maker.
Yeah.
Right? But that's also the bad thing because you're the decision maker. So everything falls on you.
Yep.
Every financial decision, every business decision, every marketing piece you bring on, every employee, every team member, every partner you collaborate with, every client you take on is your decision. So that's, I think, the double-edged sword of it, where it's like, yeah, that's great. I'm the decision maker. I run this show. I make every decision, and we run in it. And you're like, oh my God, shit, is this the right decision? Like, what am I doing? So, and I think that's a lot. Every business owner feels that. And I think that's what I felt a lot this year of, am I going this way with clients or am I doing this with the family? Is this all working hand in hand and collaborating well? On the business side of things, I got a business coach. And
cool.
On the personal side of things, re-engaged with therapy and stuff because I need accountability. And that's what it is.
We all need some type of mentorship and some guidance, right? I mean, therapists are a great partner. Business coaches, life coaches, these are amazing people that can really help you and unpeel all of those layers. So, Awesome.
Absolutely. So the accountability aspect will be good to have as we go through the next season.
For all of us, right?
Yeah,
not just
absolutely.
you and stuff. So, well, man, this was a great first episode for season 2. Yeah. Congratulations once again, obviously, to your family.
Thank you.
Really happy that you were able to share some of those challenges here. Any last words for everyone before we wrap this up?
Man, love yourself. Just love yourself, man. Just, it's easy to get down on yourself. Celebrate the wins. Just know that you're doing enough is enough. I think that we all have challenges that, especially when you have a family, you have that fear in the back of your mind. I think men have that too, because the whole tradition of men, I've got to provide for the family. I've got to take on this burden of the financial stuff or whatnot. Yeah. But know that sometimes enough is enough. And I think that changes certain mentality aspects and help you feel a little less of the monkey on your back. So love yourself, love each other, and just lean on each other.
Man, that was beautiful. Well, everyone out there, thank you so much for joining us for season 2, episode 1, or episode 11 of Listings and Lullabies, A Girl Dad's Journey with Varun Varma. I'm Vikas Sondhi. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media channels. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram, Facebook, maybe even get out there on Blue Sky soon. I've been hearing a lot about that. Also, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and our website, girldadspodcast.com. For all of our episodes, we'll be releasing this one soon. And please give us your feedback, your comments, your thoughts. And if you want to be a guest, please reach out to us at girldadspodcast.com. Thank you, and please be safe.
See you guys.